Hello and a very good morning. Welcome to our forum discussion organized by the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development. I'm Nura Aliantasha, Head Director of Department of Social Welfare Malaysia, and I will be moderating our discussion today about an important topic entitled, Does Internet Bring More Advantages to Children? Internet is a crucial and an essential technology of daily life, since it is an information and communication web that enables people to attain information and opportunity for interaction. According to the global digital population, there are almost 4.66 billion active internet users, which encompassing 59% of global population, which includes children, teenagers, and adults. Internet has become a new platform for children to communicate with friends and attain information on their studies. However, some research did conclude that the influence of the internet use for children are inconclusive. In today's forum events, our panel of experts will evaluate and elaborate the topic entitled, Does Internet Bring More Advantages to Children? Before we begin our forum discussion, I would like to introduce all of our panelists. First of all, we have Dr. Nur Shahida Husna, a pediatrician from Child Specialist Clinic. And next, we have Professor Dr. Madya Siti Nursyukrina, a senior lecturer in Department of Communications and New Media in University Kebangsaan Malaysia. And next, we have Datuk Dr. Siti Balkis, Head of Division Industry Research and Data Analytics of Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission. And lastly, we have Dr. Nurul Hazira, a Psychiatrist Officer of KPJ Specialist Hospital. Without further ado, let's ask for an opinion from the first panel. Dr. Husna, what is your opinion regarding the topic? Do you personally think that internet brings more advantages to children?
Okay, thank you. Good morning and thank you to Dr. Alia for inviting me to be one of the panel for today's forum. I am Dr. Husna, a pediatric from Child Specialist Clinic. In my opinion, internet does bring more advantages to children. First reason is because internet can help children building relation with others. There are three types of child relationship. The first relation is child relation to self, which may be by using internet, it can help children to understand and express him or herself more and develop both competence and confidence. The second relationship is child relationship to other, which is through communication and getting to know each other. I will explain about this later. The third relationship is child relationship with outside world. It helps children to appreciate natural world or gain understanding for other creatures. Child relationship with others can occur through social media. There are numbers of social media that can be used easily to interact either with friends or with others online and can improve social development and relationship. For introvert personality children, they are too shy or maybe uncomfortable when talking, they can use this platform as baby step to communicate with others. Finding shows that internet causes positive impact for children as social media can facilitate indirect communication. For example, there are social media that can be used are Facebook or instant messaging. Facebook enables them to communicate and have fun with friends and also make new friends through it. Through a research, it is found that 78% children in Malaysia enjoy communicating through Facebook. For instant messaging like WhatsApp, it is attractive because communication is relatively simple. Children can do it instantly by typing text messages into the window and just press send for contact buddy to read it. Children nowadays even teach their parents on how to use smartphone and those complicated applications, right? Lastly, computer literal children were rated by their teachers as demonstrating better social skill than children less computer proficient, as internet use during childhood support emergent literacy and facilitate communication skill.
Sorry, excuse me, Dr. Alia and Dr. Husna. Can I interrupt?
Yes, Dr. Hazira, you may continue.
So first of all, thank you Dr. Alia as a moderator for today for inviting me to be part of this forum. In my point of view, I might have a different opinion with Dr. Husna have discussed just now. A study shows the average child sits 5 hours each day at the television, the computer or homework and spends 76% of the day relatively inactive. This may impact their daily physical activity. For example, they tend to be lazy to play outside and communicate with people in the real life. So it will affect their performance in sport activity or social activity in school. So I think that's all for my opinion.
Thank you, Dr. Hazira, for your opinion, but I still stand on the side where internet does bring more advantages to children. This is because my second reason is I think internet bring more advantages to children is because internet can increase children cognitive function. What is cognitive function? Cognitive function is core skill that brain use to think, to read, learn, remember, and pay attention. It helps children to explore and figure things out. When children use the internet, they usually search for entertainment videos or songs. When they watch the song and video, they can sing along and indirectly learn new language or words through song. Or they may come across any animated informative video, such as videos on pedestrian crossing. When they watch the video, they will think, when is the right time to cross the street? Is it red light or green light? Children can play game where they are required to think of strategy to win the game. According to Australian Journal of Education and Development Psychology, internet users promotes cognitive function in children, especially in the area of visual intelligence in children, where certain computer activities, particularly game, may enhance ability to monitor several visual stimuli at once, to read diagram, to recognize icon and increase language expression in children. Internet is an opportunities platform to master the gesture needed to operate digital devices, work through technical challenges, and most importantly, by increase of cognitive function, they can cope with any online risk they may encounter, for example, accidentally accessing inappropriate or offensive content. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for the explanation, Dr. Husna. I believe Professor Shukrina have her own perspectives regarding the topic. Can you share with us?
Thank you to Dr. Alia for inviting me into the forum. I agree with Dr. Husna in the advantages of the internet to the children. So nowadays, the world is different from what it was decades ago. Digital technology has transformed work as well to the children. The other advantages of the internet to the children that they can use for their future is they can use the internet to search for the information regarding to their school project or homework, which known as one of the biggest advantages from the internet user. They also can use it to learn new things about the subject they are interested in before they enter the class. There are also many platforms such as Google and Yahoo, which add the service through the internet. The accessing of the internet nowadays can provide huge amount of information, including from many other researchers through their website or their channel. For example, if the children have a problem in mathematics homework, they can search or watch the YouTube about the calculation in solving the particular problem. From the research, some surveys stated that when the children use the internet, they can build their resilience as well as digital skill when they search for the information. From the internet also, they can communicate with their teacher in the chatting room, for example, WhatsApp or Telegram, about the homework that they do not understand, and they can share or discuss the ideas as well as the information regarding to the school project with their friends. Next.
Sorry to interrupt, but before we move on, I would like to add my thought on Professor Shukrina's point. I think there is a limitation on accessing the information on the internet. This is because some of the info needs to be paid and some are untrustworthy. For example, the Wikipedia, where the information can be added by anyone, at anywhere and in any time. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you to Dr. Balkis for your opinion. May I add my other advantages of the internet? So, by using the internet also, the children can improve their language skill. As they use the internet to search for the information, most of the words in the internet are in English, and at the same time, they can learn a new English word. Other than that, some children spend their time by playing online games. The games require them to follow specific instructions in the games to make them win. Some examples of online games that can improve their language skill are Grammar Gorillas, Leapfrog, and Scrabble. There are also some dictionary sites such as Google Translate and Merriam-Webster that can help the children with the word that they do not understand. The children nowadays seem to be more understanding on how mobile device or computer work as they read the instruction given compared to their parent generation, and they can teach their parent on how to use the device. Other than that, the children nowadays also seem very interested in song. They can easily memorize the lyric since the lyric have a sense of rhyme and also the rhythm than compared to memorizing the subject they study, so that they can also learn some new words from the lyrics.
Thank you, Professor Shukrina. What are you trying to say is internet does give advantages to children, right? By having the opportunity to access information and increase cognitive function, children's education outcomes can be improved. According to the HomeNet2 project, children who use the internet more showed greater gains in GPA and reading test scores. How their education outcomes improving? They enhance their reading skills as they are reading the text on the internet. More time on the web means more time spent reading, which may explain the increase in GPAs, which depend heavily on reading skills and in standardized test scores in reading. Furthermore, a research from Rina Kelangi also found that using internet browsing in teaching reading comprehension is effective to increase student skills in reading comprehension. So, okay, next I will invite Datuk Dr. Balkis to give her thoughts on the topic.
Thank you, Dato' Alia, for inviting me in today's forum. Okay. Does the internet bring more advantage to children? In my opinion, I do not agree with this statement because internet and children are not a good correlation. Internet is bad for children because it may lead to negative impact such as cyberbullying. Cyberbullying or cyber harassment is a form of bullying or harassment using electronic means. Traditionally, bullying could be direct, physical, verbal, or relational, such as social exclusion, or indirectly, such as rumor spreading. However, with the advent of electronic communication like social media and instant messaging via the internet and mobile phones, cyberbullying has emerged. It happens when a person uses digital technology to deliberately and repeatedly harass, humiliate, embarrass, torment, threaten, pick on, or intimidate another person. It happens in text messages, emails, online games, social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok. Based on a 2019 poll by the United Nations Children's Fund or UNICEF on violence against children in 30 countries, 1 in 5 people were reported to have skipped school due to cyberbullying and violence, whereas in Malaysia, it was reported that 3 in 10 young people are victims of cyberbullying. Malaysians are, in fact, among the most aggressive on social media and often bullying another person on the internet regardless of their age. This is very harmful for children to use the internet.
Excuse me, Dr. Alia, can I add my point?
Yes, Dr. Husna, you may continue.
Okay, I don't mean to interrupt. Dr. Balkis did give a great argument in this matter, but in my opinion, internet has no relation with a children being a prey or predator in cyberbullying. This behavior usually came from lack of affection from both parents and family problems. To avoid this behavior, parents can monitor their online activities by look at the history of website visited or their conversation after the children using the internet and take appropriate action. I strongly believe parents' guidance affect the children behavior more than internet. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Husna, for your opinion. Okay, I will continue with my second point. My second point is proliferation and easy accessibility of negative content on the internet, such as pornography, violence, hate speech, gambling, sexual solicitation, and so forth. I am going to focus more on explicit content because we do not want our children to expose to such contents on the internet. Children can access to pornography in many ways, some intentional and many unintentional. They can intentionally access pornography through web search. They may be seen some of this content on music videos, dramas, and social media platforms. Sexually explicit materials on the internet can desensitize children to deviant sexual stimuli and encourage them to enact antisocial aggressive sexual behaviors. Besides that, children have become the materials for child pornography. This is a serious issue in Malaysia as it has the highest number of IP addresses uploading and downloading photographs and visual of child pornography in Southeast Asia. Interpol, PDRM, and our government agency, which is Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission, or known as MCMC, has restricted access to more than 1,000 websites that contain child sexual abuse content from 2015 until today. This happened because parents let their children use handphones without monitoring them, and more than 60% of children spend time in online chat rooms on the internet daily. This will be easier for the pedophiles to approach children through online chatting. It is easy to see how these types of negative content harm children and destroy their development. Last but not least, parents has the biggest responsibility towards their children when using the internet. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Balkis. Dr. Hazira, I know you have some experience here too. Can you share with us your thoughts regarding the topic?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Alia. I agree with Dr. Balkis' opinion about the consequences of the internet towards children. In my point of view, internet will increase the screen time addiction for the children. Usually, children are more attracted to music and graphic color. Internet such as YouTube serve many channels of children to watch. This will make children to be addicted and continuously watch it without feeling bored. Pediatric Academy suggested that before age of 2, children shouldn't be exposed to any electronic media because a child brain develops rapidly during this first year, and young children learn best by interacting with people, not the screen. Other than that, some parents realize that handling a child their smartphone or tablet is a convenient solution for boredom or temper tantrum. But research shows heavy use of electronic media can have a significant negative effect to children's behavior, health, and school performance. Those who watch a lot of simulated violence in video games can become immune to it, more inclined to act violently, themselves and less likely to behave empathically. In addition, screen time can rob children opportunity to develop essential skills such as motor skill and communication skill. Along with this, which it will be difficult for them to getting along with the teachers and their friends. According to a study in the Journal of Youth and Adolescent Teenagers, children who spend a lot of time playing violent games or watching violence on television will have found be more aggressive to fight with their peers and argue with their teachers. Next, other research, 60% of parents voice concern to the internet may lead to increasing isolation of the children. Children may be tempted to socialize online to hide from the tribulation of the real social world. Furthermore,
I'm sorry for the interruption.
yeah,
I quite disagree with Dr. Hazira. There are some ways to avoid children from screen time addiction. Firstly, parents can control their children screen time by limit the gadget time such as only use the internet for 3 hours per day. Other than that, create a contact which is spend some time together. For example, play sport together and make some home activity. Lastly, parents can always change the Wi-Fi or hotspot password to avoid the children from access it secretly. That's all from my opinion.
thank you, Professor Shukrina, for a wonderful opinion just now. But I think internet will also affect the privacy and safety for the children. This is because internet provide a platform where people can easily communicate with other or even stranger. So children can talk online with other in chat rooms, which are virtual space in which children can chat. For instance, they can communicate with online chat groups, chat rooms, online games, or even email. According to information from Youth Internet Safety Survey, 55% of youth communicate online with people whom they didn't know in the real world. In addition, sometimes chat rooms are specially designed according to their age, but children can be easily manipulate their age to be able to join the chat rooms. In consequences, this will expose children with inappropriate content, just like what Datuk Dr. Balkis said just now. These inappropriate content are not suitable for children because the way of thinking is different with adults. For instance, cyber predator, such as child predator, may enter chat rooms under various personae to contact children, have a sexual communication with the children, and lure children into a real-world meeting. So this will lead to a huge safety problem for the children. Other than that, they may expose some private information as they didn't know the information is private. Fortunately, parents are increasingly aware of this. Almost 3/4 of parents voicing concern that their children may give out personal information on the internet. For example, housing address and phone number. Some of people will take advantage with those information to scam or even to steal them. So I guess that's all for my opinion.
Thank you, Dr. Hazira. Let me summarize it a bit. Basically, the internet does give adverse effects to their social life. As they are influenced by the internet, they can be socially awkward or not social in real life. A research from WeCWI clarifies that internet was found to have negative effects since it results in limitation in social relationships, interference with daily concerns, passivity or inactivity, difficulty in adaptation to real life, and physical illnesses. Furthermore, the internet also can affect family communication, resulting from the screen time addiction. A study from Ankara ISMAT stated that all the parents complained that their children spend too much time on computer and that internet influenced the family communication negatively. To conclude today's discussion, internet does give advantages to the children, but also it has its negative sides. In instance, if there is the needs of internet, the children must utilize it wisely to prevent any one of those negatives influencing them. Okay, moving on to the next topic, which is the Q&A session. A mother of two children who are currently having online distance learning, which is the ODL, questioned, are there child safe search engines? I would like to point this question to Professor Shukrina.
Okay, thank you to Dato' Alia. Such an interesting question. In my opinion, there were found that so many number of child safe search engine available on the web. For example, Yahooligans, Kids Click, and Ask Jeeves for Kids. Children can learn to use these search engines that are much safer than the other common one. The sites tend to be directories of known safe sites that are reviewed by individuals.
I would like to add my point to the question. If you want to further restrict that kind of content your kid can access, you can select content and privacy restriction at the smartphone or tablet. Then click content restriction. This allows you to limit movie and TV show viewing on the device to specific rating and decide whether the child can listen to podcasts and music with explicit content. Adult website can also be blocked, so parents will be rest assured when the children use the internet. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Husna and Professor Shukrina for enlightening us about the question. Now let's move on to the second question. Nowadays, a lot of people, especially children, use the internet for many purposes, right? There is a kid who frequently use the internet as a platform to interact with other people. And there are some strangers who are trying to approach him by sending him messages. So the question is it safe to trust people who we meet on the internet? I would like to invite Dato' Dr. Balkis to give her point of view on this question.
Thank you, Dr. Alia, for the question. I myself believe that there are many people you can trust on the internet, but as there are people on the internet that you must not trust at all, and it is very difficult to tell them apart. So my best bet is not to trust anyone that you don't know in person.
I agree with Dr. Balkis. Let me continue to explain. We as a parent or even children can look at the profile picture and about the user. If it seems suspicious, we can ignore the person and avoid, and this will avoid us to be more safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Balkis and Dr. Hazira for the great explanation. That's a wrap up for our today's discussion. Unfortunately, our discussion has come to its end. I would like to thank all of our panelists for today's forum discussion. I hope all of the audience can mark the panelists' words, and I hope all of you enjoy this forum discussion. Thank you.